Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. 1983 was a great year for director Harold Ramis and John Hughes. That's the year that we got exposed to National Lampoon's Vacation. It stars Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Imogene Coca, Randy Quaid, John Candy, and Christy Brinkley in her acting debut. Other special appearances that happen are those by Eddie Bracken, Brian Doyle Murray, Miriam Flynn, James Keach, Eugene Levy, and Frank McRae. The estimated budget was around $15 million, and all the critics gave it positive reviews. The box office take on it was about $60 million in the U.S. alone. I've done at least one video on this film, and maybe two, but there's so much information that you can find on it that it just makes it fun to revisit and to go behind the scenes a little bit. And at the end of my video, we're going to discuss Anthony Michael Hall trying to bird dog Beverly D'Angelo in her famous nude scene. The story goes that with every detail meticulously planned, the well-intentioned American father, Clark Griswold, and his supportive wife, Ellen, embark on a cross-country journey from the suburbs of Chicago to California's Wally World amusement park with their two teenagers, Rusty and Audrey. However, their trip takes a turn for the worse, as everything that could go wrong does. And soon Ellen's cousin Catherine and her husband Eddie join the chaos, pushing Clark to his limits. Despite the allure of a secret rendezvous with a captivating blonde in a fast 1981 Ferrari, Clark is determined to do the right thing and reach his destination. The question remains, how difficult can it be to have that perfect vacation that we dream of? While Chicago was experiencing a terrible blizzard in the winter of 1979, writer John Hughes began developing a short story that was entitled Vacation 58, all done for the National Lampoon magazine. The story ended up getting bumped from the issue that it was supposed to be in, but it was eventually published, and then it was subsequently optioned by Warner Brothers. Initially, when he showed it to producers in Hollywood, they said they would never make a movie like this. It was too episodic, too coincidental. Hughes responded to him by telling them, yeah, it's a road trip. It's supposed to be episodic. You go from town to town and place to place. Eventually, one executive there named Mark Canton started pulling for the film, and he got it made. Once the agreement was signed, Hughes's next big task was adapting the original story into a screenplay. Harold Ramis and Chevy Chase rewrote Hughes's first draft to place the story from the father's point of view rather than the son's, which really is what makes this franchise so popular. Principal photography began in July of 1982 in Boone, Colorado, and it lasted for 55 days. Parts of the movie were shot in Monument Valley, Utah, Flagstaff, Sedona, and the Grand Canyon in Arizona. They also used Santa Anita Racetrack in Arcadia, California, and Magic Mountain in California as well. The Santa Anita Racetrack was transformed into the entrance and parking lot of Wally World, but all the interior scenes for that park were shot at Magic Mountain. Now, the one character that we forgot to mention that has a special part in the film is the car they drove, the Wagon Queen Family Truckster. That station wagon was created specifically for the movie, and it's based on a 1979 Ford LTD Country Squire station wagon. It was designed by George Barris And it was all done to lampoon the American cars of the late 70s, which when you look back on them now, they were horrific to look at. The Truckster features a metallic pea green paint scheme, extensive imitation wood paneling decals, 8 headlights, and a grille largely covered by bodywork with only 2 small openings close to the bumper. And by the way, the airbag that's in the vehicle is nothing but a trash can liner bag, as is very obvious in the scene when it goes off. John Candy's cameo at the end of the film was only made possible because of the poor reception that the original ending had with test audiences that they ran it in front of. All of the cast members had terrible experiences when it came to filming the scenes inside of Wally World itself, as they rode the roller coaster and other rides. Many of the cast members got so sick to their stomach that they ended up throwing up, especially because they had to ride these things to do several takes of each scene. Imogene Coca suffered what is believed to have been a stroke during filming production. The director, Ramis, said that they had filmed the scene early in the morning, and by the afternoon, she couldn't remember anything that they had done that morning. After getting out of the hospital, she and her husband worked together to relearn her lines and get her back on set to finish the film. And they did. Now, Anthony Michael Hall, who plays Rusty, freely admits on multiple interviews that he did his best to try to see Beverly D'Angelo shoot her nude shower scene. But he ended up getting caught taking a peek and thrown out of that segment of the filming. He did his very best to bird dog her, and it failed. That scene that D'Angelo was in has caused her to get many comments from guys saying that that was the first set of boobs that they had ever seen. And on the topic of nude scenes in the movie, Christy Brinkley was not nude at all when she filmed that famous pool scene with Chevy Chase. She wore a suit that made her look nude. And at that time, being such a high-paid top model, you wouldn't want to reveal everything to the public. Go back and take a look at this Harold Ramis, John Hughes masterpiece. It's always a fun one to rewatch. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.